Let's have a beautiful experience. In this video, we're going to talk about calibrating how to naturally raise your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and make your penis bigger. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. All right, before we get started here, please do me a huge favor. Please ring the bell, subscribe to the channel, of course, tell some friends, just like Rocky Balboa says. No bell. So make sure you're ringing the bell, because I'm putting content out daily. And of course, make sure you give me that Arthur Fonzarelli thumbs up like, so I say, hey. And of course, follow me on my social media. I go by Jesus_Detroit on my Instagram, Snapchat, I'm YOUNGDAYGO. And that's right, this video is all about calibration for your big penis manifestation, because you know what we're all about here in the BCC, the Big Cock Consciousness, the Big Cock Collective, where I help you manifest a bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder penis, help you naturally raise your HGH and your testosterone. I'm a spiritual guide and a mentor here to expand your mind and increase your size. So without further ado, I'm here to tell you about some calibration. And yes, it's a beautiful word to really just help you in the moment of what you're going about. And when we're talking about naturally raising your testosterone, your human growth hormone, and, you know, of course, making that huge piece of meat swing at the knees and throb to the pecs, making you your best. We're talking about, you know, getting in the flow of growth. And what that all comes down to is finding how you feel throughout the day about what you're doing towards, you know, your end result. And of course, you know, your result is continuously ongoing, because we're always on growing. And like I say, everybody out there is still a kid no matter what. You're still somebody's kid. Don't forget that. It doesn't matter whether you know your parents, doesn't matter your age, you're somebody's kid. So never forget that. And what does a kid do? A kid grows. So never forget that. And we're talking about this calibration to the grow and to the flow. We're talking about getting out of your own way, as I always say. Like I say, if you want beauty to appear, you got to keep this clear. You got to be a clear conduit for growth. You can't be filling your mind with a whole bunch of other philosophies that might not, you know, be in your best interest, that can conflict with the way that you want to go with. And essentially, that's kind of what I was talking about the other day when I was, you know, in my whatever video. It's just, you know, kind of got to get out of your own way, say whatever anyways. And that's what, you know, part of the calibration process is. And a great example of calibrating to, like, exercising and, you know, helping you increase your size, you know, of course, so many different ways. Like I say, there's a 2-way, 3-way, 4-way. So, you know, somebody's just, you know, appearing on the street. There's just a million different ways to get you to what you got to do. And, you know, some people might be more into, like, the powerlifting motion of, like, you got to lift heavy, bro. And when you're going with that and, like, to, you know, increase your muscle size, you know, and you go into the science with it. And like I say, man, I don't discredit science, but I don't discredit magic. So when we're talking about, you know, people that are essentially really just, you know, breaking it down to the science of, or like wanting to look for a rhyme to the reason of, you know, how you're manifesting and how you're gaining more muscle. And it's like, I always feel like, you know, like I said, with my whatever philosophy, it's like, you kind of got to get out of your way sometimes, because there's going to be a different philosophy that's going to prove why this one works and why that one works. And like I said, just be on the side of what works. Forget about everything else, because you are your own calibration of what's going to help you manifest. And if you're somebody that wants to be a power lifter, then by all means, you follow the right people, you follow the right motion, and you listen to your heart, and you know where to start, because that's, you know, you're gonna find the best ways to manifest through that. But if you're somebody out there that's just like, you know what, I'm not here to, you know, just go to the gym and just, you know, chalk up a bar and crank out PRs, bro, and do all that kind of stuff, then you're gonna find that you don't need to, and you're gonna be able to still make results. And you can go get on the scientific part of, you know, type 2 muscle fibers and muscle density and this, that, and the other. The most important thing that you got to know is that you grow. And when you get out of your own way, and like I say, man, you know, all this information, like Cypher, Ralph Cifaretto, man, you know what I'm saying, man? Ignorance is bliss sometimes, because when you have an abundance of information, you're going to be looking for explanations and why, you know, the result is, you know, what it's going. And you got to understand that a lot of, you know, muscle growth and, you know, making your piece, you know, making that penis grow down there is like, you know, planting seeds. And when you go out there, it's like you're tending your garden, you know what I mean? Going to the gym, that's watering, the diet, this, that, and the other. But if you're somebody that's constantly just digging into the dirt and looking at the seed, that's just no way to be. And that's like when you're going with, like, you know, changing your, like, oh my God, this, I gotta keep changing my diet. And, you know, of course, when you get on the right side to calibrate and you're like, you know what, that's muscle confusion, and then you find that that works. But if you're somebody that's running through this, the you know, the field of growth like a chicken with the head cut off, like, oh no, what do I gotta do? Should I be like this? Should I be like that? You got nobody to blame but yourself. And when we're going with calibrating what works for you, that essentially is what calibration is anyways, because you might find that the heavy lifting is something that you really love to do. It really resonates with you, and that's a beautiful thing. Or you might find that the mind and muscle connection is what works for you. And excuse me real quick, just getting back from the gym. You know me, I gotta get it in. Oh yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. I'm telling you. This is helping me calibrate, you know, give you the information that flows through me. And you know what I got to go with, what I got to grow with? The wolf just took my sock. But you know what? I ain't going to let that bother me none. Just letting you know what's going on. And I'm going to go ahead and just grab the mind-muscle connection, because I know that energy is always there at any given time. It doesn't matter. I always feel that the growth is the feeling, because you can't go wrong when you're feeling the growth. When you're feeling your muscles expand, you know that you're doing it right. And I feel that the feeling is the secret. It doesn't matter if you're going with the law of attraction approach. If you're going with anything, the feeling is what's real. And that's something that you can easily calibrate to. Every single time that you're lifting a weight, that you step inside of a gym, you know that you're going to walk out bigger than when you walked in. And that's how I go with any type of workout that I'm doing. You know that you're going to make whatever muscles that you're going to grow, you're going to make them bigger, harder, and fuller. And you know, like Paramahansa Yogananda says, the one that brought yoga to the West, helping people be their best. You know, yoga's pretty huge and helps people, you know, love it, you know, get with their mind. And that's a beautiful thing. He's the one that says the mind is the wielder of muscle. So don't forget that it's your mind that's creating this beautiful avatar anyways. And whatever collective belief that you're helping you, you know, with the manifestation, like, you know, going through all these scientific, you know, natures of things, you got to understand that people were huge at any given time. There were some big gladiators around. There were some massive people that just, you look at statues, you know what I mean? There was people that were, you know, ripped up because they knew how to manifest it with their mind. And when we're talking about the mind and muscle connection, you can go ahead and say some beautiful mantras to really keep it locked in, keep you just going and growing, and just, you know, keep you just on that path to calibrate to the grow. And some of my favorite flows is I am magic, I am divine, and the universe is on my side. So you could say that throughout the day at any given time anyways. And then of course, you know, when I'm holding planks out, or if I'm really just in the zone, just in my, you know, meditative type of way, I always have to say that I'm so happy and grateful that my huge, massive muscles are growing bigger, harder, stronger, more defined, abundantly. And then, of course, for the penis, I am so happy and grateful that my huge, beautiful penis is growing bigger, wider, thicker, longer, stronger, and harder, abundantly. And then whenever you're just really ripping them out and you got to get one last rep in and you're feeling your muscles just explode and grow and you want to just feel like that building's just crumbling beneath you, you go ahead and you scream and you shout this, or at least feel it in your head. Go ahead and say, I am magic, I am divine, and I can increase my size. Oh yeah, 2020 getting lit. Let's grow huge. It's a beautiful thing. You gotta love it. Yeah, you gotta love that, man. Naked in a chair, Detroit, Rock City, man. It doesn't matter always sweating, and I'm always grabbing that energy at any given time just to show you that it's always there. And that is something that you can essentially calibrate to. And that's like if you're in a, whatever type of mode you're in, you just got to understand that everything's all around you anyways. And everything really might be within. And that's why I say you got to clear out what's telling you what. And you got to listen to what you're feeling. Because this is this is your station, man. This is what's telling you what's going on. This is what you're tuned. It's what you're tuned to. And what you're thinking about there, think about this. So just had to get that in. It's a beautiful thing. You know me, always holding my accountability, and you can count on me. Waiting for you in the parking lot. That's right, Mr. Larson. You know what we're going with. I'm talking about that. I was holding accountability of, at the end of the day, I like to have my reward. And, you might say that, having alcohol, I'm always on the side of the good. Arnold Schwarzenegger, a lot of old school bodybuilders, they believe in beer. And I believe in beer. You know what I mean? I know that it helps me manifest more muscles. I know that it keeps me cheer. And it's something that is part of me. And I know it's not for everybody. And I know that people can calibrate to other types of, energies to make them feel certain ways. And that's what I'm really happy and grateful to say. So, for that, I mean, the best calibration you got to start with, like I always say, is love. You got to calibrate to that love. You got to go ahead and love yourself today, man. You look at that guy in the mirror, that person, that soul. You go ahead and you say, how you doing, man? You looking beautiful. You looking swole. Whatever you got to say to make yourself feel good. And of course, you know me. I'm just doing anything to make you smile, make you laugh. Because the smile is divine. It's made inside the mind. And when you're going with, talking about love and making yourself feel good, the words in your head, you're your best cheerleader. And watch what you're saying about yourself every single day. Just really just go ahead and take an inventory of what you said. Be like, did I say anything? Like, what was I talking about earlier? Like, did I say this about myself? That's what you really got to go with. And, I was listening to this beautiful Instagram live, some like some billionaire type of guy that's here to motivate people. He was talking about how people can name off, like maybe 3 things that are great about them, and then focus on, like, they can just ramble off 10 things that they're dissatisfied with. And that's just no way to be. So I feel like you got to get on the side of love. You got to get on the side of loving yourself, the side of the grow. So the more good things that you point out about yourself, the more that flows in. So that should be something that you should just go ahead and go about anyways. Just start writing down, or just start thinking about things that you're really good at. And it could be something simple. Be like, you know what? I'm really good at brushing my teeth. You know what I mean? Like, like I said, man, I'm like a dental hygienist with this, man. I could be like literally, I ain't got the paperwork, but, I'm like a street dentist. You know what I mean? You know what I'm getting at. But like I'm saying, like, you could be a great cook, you could be a great musician, or even if you're not a great musician, be like, you know what? I could pick it up, or just anything that's going with you. Anything that you're doing, you're a great mechanic, you're a great, you're one of the greatest guys at the office, you're great at washing your hands, you're great at keeping yourself healthy. Things like this are things that get you in that positive flow to help you calibrate to what I always talk about. We're talking about love and talking about gratitude, because gratitude's the attitude. And every single day, the sound. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and take this breath with me before my feet hit the ground. I got a shot today. I feel beautiful, because gratitude is the attitude. You gotta be, you gotta be thankful that you're alive, man, and be like, you know what? That's a beautiful thing as is. You gotta count. You like Rocky Balboa. You wanna count your blessings. You're still a healthy person. You gotta count your blessings that you woke up today, man. What do you got a shot at? Shot at life. So don't never forget that. If you're breathing, you got a reason for being alive, man. And never forget the people that brought you into this world. They were excited to do it. I don't care what story they told you, whoever's, you know, whatever magic is happening, whatever type of sex is going on, that explosion, that you know, that seed that gets released into that, you know, to make you be created, that's a beautiful thing that you really got to appreciate. And that's something that you can calibrate to at any given time, which I feel that when people are calibrated to excitement, calibrated to love, and you're always calibrated to energy, this is why we, you know, this is why we thrive with this. And like, energy is always part of all of us regardless. Like I said, man, we come from energy, and like, that is one of the most profound brass tacks. Just you can't get any more clearer than like what I'm throwing it down. I like to throw you the raw approach, because that's what we're coming with, the raw deal. I'm talking about what's real, and the feeling is what's real. And like I said, man, when we're talking about love, you know, I gotta share that matrix hack every single time, because that doesn't matter how you're feeling today. If you ain't, whatever you're feeling, man, if you ain't got anything nice to say about yourself, you forget about it. If you get, like I say, man, how am I feeling? How am I doing? I'm doing beautiful. And whenever you're going out there today, you go ahead, you say something nice about somebody if it feels right. But the most important thing is just whoever you see that just comes across your mind, just anybody that's in front of you in line, if you're just, you know, in traffic, wherever you happen to be at, just go ahead and tend on that person, that soul, to have a beautiful day, to feel love in some kind of way. Even if you're on the phone with a telemarketer, never forget this, man. This is something that you got to understand. That person on that other line is a reflection of you. This is all a reflection of who you are. So however you're dealing with that person, you're dealing with yourself. So deal with that person with love. So intend on that person to have a beautiful day, feel love in some kind of way, and you go along your day, and you just hacked the matrix. You just made the world a better place. And it's as simple as that, because when you're grinning, you're winning. When you're smiling, you're that dialed up, calibrated energy for the best manifestation that we can go with. You can't go through life all hunched over and just, you know, down about yourself and in that pity zone and a pity party. That's no good for nobody, man. Like, you got to understand that there, you know, people would be happy to be who you are, and you got to be happy to be to be yourself, man. And that's really what it comes down to, man. I intend on everybody here to feel beautiful today, to really just get in touch with their body, appreciate what you got, because you got to understand that we are all an image of the divine. We are all the divine. We are all guides. We are all magic. Everything that's inside is, you know, that's a beautiful thing. We come from love, and you got to, you know, never forget that, man. So whenever you're going out there, really understand that you're seeing a reflection of your mind. And always, you know, if you can entertain that all thoughts are things, then you're going to want to make sure that this receiver is tuned to the right station. And that's part of the whole calibration process, because check your thoughts out. Like I say, man, you go throughout the day, and it's like, if you're getting some negative stuff, like, what, like, what is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, whose thoughts are these? Go ahead, pump the brakes for a minute and be like, you know, are you a negative person? Like, why is, you know, is there any reason to be mad about something? Because there's not, man. You should be happy about, you know, everything that's going on. You should be happy about being alive. You should be, you know, it should be on the side of what attracts the smile. And that's essentially what it comes down to. So you make sure you change the channel to be more in a receptive mode, to be able to get those downloads and be able to get the calibration of, you know, whatever you're trying to manifest out there. And nonetheless, just being able to have, you know, a beautiful day, a beautiful experience. Just being able to smile is one of the most profound things that you can do. And the more that you're doing that, the more you're making the world a better place. Because when you're in a happy mode, that's when we grow, man. We're talking about being like, you know, when we're, you know, like, when we're intending on growing and being the huge, massive giants that we are, man. We're talking about, you know, the heads in the clouds, man. We're talking about that huge piece of meat throbbing in the pecs. Give it a kiss. How you doing? We ain't worried about the gremlins at your feet. You know what I mean? Because we're huge. We're up here, man. Huge giant of love, man. You love yourself. You love everything around you, and you ain't worried about nothing that, you know, they can't, you know, you're up here, man. That's what it all comes down to. And of course, like I said, man, when you're about spreading love, anything down there isn't going to affect you. And that's really what we're going with. That's what we're growing with. And like I say, man, if you want to have more hands-on help, you know, the techniques that I know are profound. They're continuously ongoing, growing, and they're downloaded into me. I get tremendous results, and I'm continuously growing, and it's something that's beautiful. And I got a whole bunch of techniques that have been out before me, and I've been able to just, you know, calibrate and tune into these, and I'm finding beautiful results and beautiful answers to help you with your manifestation. We're talking about, you know, super jelking, super edging, super Kegels. We're talking about aroused workouts. We're talking about utilizing cock rings. We're talking about utilizing your root chakra. You know what I mean? We're talking about understanding that this beautiful system of chakras, and you know, we got that third eye roaring back there. That pituitary gland is where HGH is always dripping. So like I say, when you go to sleep, if you're able to be able to, you know, feel your dreams, and like I said, I always put up my construct theory. If, like, you know, when you're in the Matrix, like, you know, when Neo's like he's like take, load me, and he's like, you know, he's talking about getting all the guns and stuff, and he's like, I know kung fu. We're talking about before you go to bed, you can essentially load yourself into a new program, a new body, you know, a manifestation that's going to help you become a better person, that's going to help you, you know, manifest what you want. And we're talking about, you know, utilizing that, and of course that, you know, that DMT that's right there, Joe Rogan, you know what I mean? We're talking about that is HGH essentially. And when you're able to, like I said, if you're having these swiggly, like, crazy dreams, like, you know, maybe you're not, maybe not, you know, I'm very blessed. And like I say, man, I'm not like any, you know, vegan or anything. I listen to my heart. I listen to what works for me. I'm calibrated, things that make me happy, and I'm calibrated, you know, to the grow. And that's what it all comes down to. You ain't got to calibrate to anybody other than what feels right to you, because there is no wrong way to doing this. There's so many millions and billions of combinations of things that you can pick out of life that can work for you. Like, all right, this diet and this exercise and this type of program can essentially be the program for you. But when you're talking about, oh, I gotta follow what this guy does because that guy's great, then that's no way to be. I mean, it's heading you in the right direction, but essentially you're gonna have to calibrate and find your own. And that's what this all comes down to today. It's about calibrating to your own grow, to your own flow, and what's gonna keep you doing this, man. Because when you're smiling, that's what it's all about, man. Keeping yourself in that receptive mode, keeping yourself in that gratitude zone, and just keeping yourself happy, man. That's a beautiful thing. And at any given time, man, that's what we call getting out ahead of it. We're talking about, you know, if you're being able to pull yourself out of a ditch. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to be that helping hand and scoop you up and help you, let you know that everything's going to be all right. We're going to help you grow, and we're going to help you become your best. So make sure you guys are hitting me up in a BCC. Check out my kid, Sue, taking care of the neighborhood. Just got back. He's like an addict kid out there in this beautiful Detroit Rock City. One at a time. I got my wolf and my bear snoozing over there. And like I said, man, we're going to have so many beautiful cameos this year. I feel travel's coming. I feel beautiful things are on the way. So I intend on you guys to feel some love today, spread some love today, and just have a beautiful experience, man. I'll be seeing you guys around. Peace.